Hello and welcome to the second episode of Subsurface, the series of short videos in which I'm going to take you through the construction of my first ever 4mm scale model railway. In the last episode I sort of outlined what I was going to do with the layout. In this episode I'll talk you through the basic sort of baseboard construction that I've used. As you can see, the first baseboard, as I pan round, I've built to 1 metre length and to 20 centimetres width. This is mainly because I wanted a lift out section on which I could start modelling without building the full layout. I'm still not ready to start construction of the layout in the box room, hence building this small section to begin with, in which I can start modelling and at least get some track down and start on the various modelling techniques. It's built with standard construction, 2B1 plain PSE, topped with a 9mm MDF deck, board, whatever you want to call the surface of it. It's all been glued, screwed, countersunk. And if I just turn the model over, or the baseboard over, I'll show you the underside. Turning the baseboard over, you can see that I've drilled a couple of holes in each of the cross members. This is to allow wiring to be passed through for the bus wires, point motors, etc. Just to make it easier when I come to wiring this actual module. Before I lay any track work on this module, what I want to do is lay some or glue some Cork Roadbed to the surface of the baseboard. I picked up this roll from my local model shop the other day, and as you can see it's 2.5mm thick. So I'll cut out a piece that I need to the appropriate size, and I'm going to glue this to the top of the baseboard using PVA. So as soon as I've got that done, we'll come back to it and I'll show you what it looks like in place. So here we have the baseboard with the cork sheet that I've cut to size and glued into place with PVA. Onto this, it'll give me a good surface on which to start laying the track. So here's this baseboard module in its entirety, complete with the Cork Roadbed now glued in place. I want to put in a crossover section on this module. So as you can see, I've laid out a couple of the Pico bullet points, just to get an idea of where I actually sort of want them on the baseboard, and some track just to give me sort of impression of what it's sort of going to look like. So whilst I was waiting for the Cork Roadbed to dry, I've actually been adding some detail to one of the points. I know it's a bit premature at this stage, but I thought I'd see what it looks like. I've been using, as previously stated, the Pico individual scale track components, i.e. the conductor rail chairs and the IL1 flat bottom rail to represent the third and fourth rail that London Underground uses. The little conductor rail chairs are a bit fiddly to thread onto the rail in the first instance, and secondly they break quite easily when you're trying to insert them into the holes that I've drilled using a 1mm drill bit into the sleepers. But I'm getting there. It's looking okay, I think, to begin with. I've also fashioned out of plasticard these plastic ramps that cover the point control rods, and also the one, if I just pan to the right, that's adjacent to the running rail. Now I understand that London Underground call these either slipper blocks or slipper shoes, and in real life they're planks or ramps made out of wood that guide the negative shoe on the power cars over the main running lines, just to make sure that they don't get fouled. My plasticard ones, as I say, they look a little bit austere at the moment and will do until they're painted, but size wise I don't know whether they're sort of prototypically accurate. It's difficult to sort of to fashion something to scale. So again, it's just going to be a representation really of what I can sort of glean from video and still images on the internet. But it's looking pretty good at the moment. I'm quite happy with how the third and fourth rail items look. As I say, once the track's painted and weathered, these should look a lot better. So that brings this episode of Subsurface to an end. I'm pretty happy that I've got the module framework built. And in the next episode, I can concentrate on the actual alignment or the track planning, get some track in position, and maybe start on the wiring. I need to take a bit of advice on that, so I'm not sure where the sort of bus wires, etc., need to be. But yeah, look forward to seeing you next time, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.